Hello, everyone. Yeah, so we're finally live. Sorry for the slight delay. But yeah, so I am Planeswater, and we are just about ready. Runners have just told us that they are ready, so Vera, you there? I was being joined by Vera.
Yes, sorry, I'm right here.
All right. Oh, glad to have you here. We are counting down and just about to be
Getting
off.
excited. There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Never didn't have it.
Blue Plus. Again, yesterday we also had Blue Plus as our starting orb. And Jin neutral. Okay.
Yeah, so for reference, orbs and damage orbs and spells can be adjusted. You can have damage randomization adjusted, so any orb that is plus and has its damage buffed is going to be very, very useful. So while there are better orbs, seeing a plus orb is a pretty good start. And if anyone was watching last year's race, one of the different flags that we are running is fast seed. So these are going to be extremely fast-paced matches. Runners are going to be able to do checks left and right off the bat. Nothing especially useful or relevant in refugee camp yet. But Jin Inferno start as well. Both of it is neutral, but it's still an extremely powerful spell. It's a source of fire, so you are very excited to see it.
And, yeah, especially this stage in the run, all the way at the start, due to you can immediately burn the vines whenever you come across them in your routing.
Yeah, I noticed Jim just checked his tracker to see that Lake Serene was full of water, it looked like, based on... So while the map doesn't actively tell you whether something is flooded due to the Rising Tides flag, it will tell you what is in logic. So given that the left side of the map didn't light up, it looks like we have a Lake Serene that is full of water. And some other flags that are different compared to last year that could be relevant are Light Wall.
Light Wall, very nice.
So that is a source of vertical that runners basically, in most cases, will find pretty early on in the seed. Light Wall is a slow source of infinite vertical. So it's a very good find. Yeah, and we see Gabriel was checking out Lake Serene. Was not keen on fighting Canaran, which, extremely fair. I would be shocked if anyone did this early. Yeah, so some of the flags that are different this year compared to last year is we have the I Spy flag on, which means that runners are not able to break walls into hidden rooms until they find the Oculus ring. They don't need to equip it necessarily; they just need to have it in their inventory. So that increases the amount of backtracking that they need to do. And another different setting we have is a new flag, Prison Break, which means that the military hangar lasers in the present are unlocked through items rather than defeating the 3 bosses in the past. So that, that changes up routing decisions. It makes bosses, maybe a little less appealing, but But already we've had this is the first week of the tournament. We've already had some races decided by someone going in for a boss too early, and they weren't ready for it, and the fight wound up taking a long time. And other races decided by runner fading a boss for too long, just completely ignoring it when there was a crucial item on that. So being able to determine when they should fight a boss is crucial for our runners.
Another flag that we didn't have last year was the quick seed, where the runners start with a Teloria attachment. So basically the dash.
That's right.
Go zoom.
And we are seeing Gabriel go through Castle Keep behind Jim, this was because he briefly visited Lake Serene.
Yeah, unlike Jim, he didn't check the map, so he had to find out the hard way. That was flooded.
Yeah, and we're seeing Jim come up on the basement loop segment of Castle Keep, which Rosakaotika. Yeah, there's some great names in other languages.
Ooh,
yeah, which is
gear.
Impress Robe is a pretty good find. Pretty much any equipment that helps you tank some hits, deal extra damage to bosses, is going to be a great find.
So we did see Jim pick up his first gear just a couple seconds earlier. 1 out of 5.
Yeah, so for reference, Go mode in this is all 5 pieces of a time spinner, the wheel, which provides you with a time stop ability, the spindle, which is usually not especially relevant, but in these settings can be your present access, and 3 gears, which are just Go mode items, as well as access to the ancient pyramid, either through a warp or through the laboratory. And there's the spindle, so that's 2 pieces
nice.
of the time spinner. We'll see if Gabriel decides to follow Jim into the twins hallway, or if he decides to ignore it for now. But he is starting his basement loop.
I'm very happy with the Umber Plus, and he got the V-Key card, which won't be useful just yet, but later might give us some checks. I'm checking. Empress, okay. Emperor.
Yeah, Jim also decides not to fight Emperor Volturalis for now.
Not a very strange decision, I'd say. Wind Plus. I hear that some people love wind, others hate it. What do you think about a Planeswater?
It is one of the more polarizing orbs. It can be extremely powerful if you can mash fast enough. Personally, I'll use it for you know, for Genza, maybe some other bosses that, depending on my orb loadout. But yeah, no, it's a very powerful orb for sure, in the right context. And Gabriel is not just going into the Twins hallway, but into the Twins fight. And Jim finds his water mask over on the left side of Lake Serene. That's a pretty big find.
Together with our friend Zerion. Who doesn't love a good early fight, Zerion? There we go.
All right, both runners finishing up both their respective boss fights.
Exactly.
So nothing important at the Twins location. So we know Jim doesn't have to go back for it. But even if he does, he'll be more powerful when he fights the Golden Idol. So depending on routing, he might have wound up saving some time there. And Gabriel also finds his spindle in here. So good call not to leave it behind. Right now, the seed is presenting our runners with two options. They can either go for the Maw Caves or Elana's Tower, which with a single jump light wall, I would doubt many people go to that first. Until you get either the wheel, which would be a source of present access, or your actual present warp. Those are the two big options that the seed is presenting to our runners right now. Yeah, Gabriel briefly being in Lightwall Jail.
Don't you love to see the Lightwall Jail?
It looks like Gabriel is making a run for Elana's Tower, possibly just to buy warp shards.
Could be. Also, a bit earlier, Jim picked up the tablets. Won't be useful just yet, but later on.
Yeah, tablet is a great source of checks in the present. Both the library and the lab have a lot of tablet scans. Gabriel running into some light wall trouble.
Going for a balcony check. Jim going to the Caves of Banishment. I find it very interesting that Gabriel is doing this area right now due to, yes, they do have infinite vertical, but it is just single jump light wall.
Yeah, this lower part of the tower is the lower struggle juggle isn't too bad, so I am expecting to see Gabriel buy warp shards and leave. But he could certainly make the call to full clear of the place. You are able to, and while it is slow, if your main source of progression is here, that could be a gamble that pays off pretty big. I think we saw I+ on Jim's side, which is an extremely powerful orb, possibly one of the fastest boss killers if you combine it with orb swapping. which if anyone's not familiar with orb swapping, it involves using your orb swap, quick swap buttons to quickly reset the cooldown on your attacking orbs and stacking attacking hitboxes, and as a result, certain damaging orbs are stronger with this check. Your starting orb is random. It can be the seed doesn't determine doesn't consider what your damage options are for logic, so it can literally be anything.
Gabriel just now picking up a second wheel.
Wheel 2 in Alana's Tower. So 3 out of 5 Timespinner pieces.
Also, they did not decide to warp out, which
yeah, clearing out the full place. So if there is, say, your present access is locked behind coming here, and there's nothing in Maw Caves, this might be something that Jim could have to do, and that would be a pretty big payoff on Gabriel's gamble, if so. But we've still yet to see either the wheel or that present warp.
Ooh,
Nightmare
where's
at Alana's spot.
Alana.
One of the easier bosses that can really be placed anywhere due to its attacking pattern. And with Jin Inferno neutral, and there's our light walls. Our bracers have pretty good damaging options for it. And Jim has found our present warp. So that was behind the water mask, which was on the left side of Lake Serene. Yeah, so while we know that Jim does eventually have to come back to Alana's Tower for a Timespinner gear, the seed is fairly wide open for Jim at the moment. And it looks like we're opting to be a little thorough, doing Bat Ledge, maybe some other quick checks before heading over to the present, while Gabriel is wrapping up Alana's Tower.
But aside from the one gear, not really finding anything.
Yeah, so Gabriel, I believe if he checks his tracker, we'll see that there is not too much left other than coming over here to the Lake Serene. And once he gets that water mask, then he's going to be following in Jim's footsteps, and eventually making his way over to the present.
Oh yeah, Jim picked up the tablet, so he can now check the checks over here in the library. Okay, so far nothing important in the library downloads. And there, Gabriel picked up the water mask. Ooh, Jim just found the wheel.
So we are potentially 2 items away from knowing where all required items are. If we find that the last Timespinner piece and that pyramid warp that Jim just found.
Yeah.
So
nice
Jim
timing.
Jim is 2 pieces of a Timespinner away. We know that one of them is in Alana's tower, and the other one could be anywhere.
Oh, I didn't notice. Jim also picked up the gas mask somewhere.
Gas mask. I believe that was on the way to the library.
Could be.
So, well, the gas mask does provide them with 2 checks.
Yeah, not too
from
much.
killing them all. Last year at Zarian, that is a position that the randomizer could decide to put the last gear in. Yes.
Which would be kind of cursed.
Yeah, the gear being in the in lab or Emperor's Tower would involve finding all three laser items that they haven't picked up any. So while maybe that's a little less likely, anything is possible.
Okay, and seems like Jim will soon also find the gear. Then if he decides to go up too.
Yeah, Jim deciding to do this now is pretty interesting. I'm expecting that he wants to make sure that there isn't anything Gabriel could have done picked up here that could have given him a bigger advantage, and that could be the play he's going for. But as things stand right now, he is still doing single jump light wall Lana's tower.
Yep.
So he's not saving a particularly large amount of time compared to Gabriel.
Having a hard time jumping on that enemy with time stop. Oh, there we go.
Find some Empress cakes. I think those are HP healing. It would be pretty interesting if it was one of the MP healing items like ethers, because they are stuck with single jump light wall for now. That is what everyone is asking. Where is Sash? Where is Succubus Hairbin? The people want to know.
What do you mean? I already cursed the run by saying it will be single jump light wall run. I already called it out earlier. It must be so now.
Gabriel also picking up I+, which doesn't equip it right away, but could just be waiting on the right moment to put it on. But yeah, this seed is doing pretty good on damage. Yeah, so Jim, as an experienced runner, it has been utilizing orb quick swapping pretty effectively, both on bosses and even against some enemies to kill them quickly. As you can see with that I plus swapping against the Royal Guard, and yeah, as mentioned, we're still doing single jump light wall in this section, so if the sash is available somewhere else, Jim could have had the possibility of saving a lot more time when he eventually had to come back to Alana's tower. But trying to make sure that there wasn't anything that could like instantly give Gabriel the game here is also a possibility that he had in mind. Didn't want to put off that long.
There we go. Jim picked up the second gear. 2 more pieces left.
One piece left.
Wait, do they have the warp for the?
Yeah, Jim
Oh!
found the pyramid warp in the library.
Right when you said it. That's true.
Yeah, so hasn't checked it out yet. I'm not sure if we saw whether the pyramid shaft was flooded. Oh no, we can't check through the tracker because of I Spy. Oh no, but you can still see whether you can reach. Oh no,
Jim
yeah, no, because of I Spy, you
absolutely
can't see whether the pyramid shaft is flooded or not. So we'll find out when we get there if players might be forced to climb the pyramid with single jump light wall.
In the meantime, Jim is getting absolutely bullied by Ravenlord. Ravenlord single jump light wall is a pain.
Well, even worse is when you don't even have light wall to begin with. So he does have Jin Inferno, which, if he can get enough height, the fight could end pretty quickly, but Ravenlord is saying no to that.
Yeah, for sure. There we go.
Yeah, that's one of the harder fights you can see there. So while Jim was trying to, properly, do his due diligence and not abandon the 2 crash site checks in Lake Desolation here, it was unfortunate to run into that boss there specifically in a relatively Oh,
There we go. Jim has go mode. So this is...
So Jim wasted a little bit of time at that Ravenlord spot. So he might be a little worried that Gabriel might have skipped that, and so he is rushing over here as fast as he can. Gabriel is about to find that third gear there, but he has not found the wheel that's located in the library.
Exactly.
And we have Prince Nuvius at Sandman's spot.
With time stop.
Yeah, very manageable with time stop and I plus orb swapping.
That's seed indeed. Well, that's also something with cults.
Yeah, so because Gabriel did not pick up his wheel and pyramid warp from the library, he's going left into Lake Desolation. Like possibly finding a ton of bait items like that laser access.
And let's go.
Final Cantaran fight.
Still no final boots.
Single jump light wall jet seed. Yeah, it was all right. It was all correct, and because they had the interior pyramid warp, they didn't even have to worry about having to climb out of the pyramid shaft.
Which is super lucky.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the more painful aspects of a single jump light wall seed. So I'm sure it came as a relief that was not actually necessary.
Central hitting hard for sure. But Jim hitting hard and fast too. Ooh, an unfortunate death.
At Cantaran. Pretty much anything at the nightmare spot hits like a truck, and Cantaran particularly has some. I believe the light wall and the light orb attacks are both fairly buffed and damaged, so they are extremely powerful, and yeah, it's easy to take it down. And while Jim is redoing that final fight, Gabriel is in the library. So while he did a few other things that Jim didn't have to do, he is not far behind at all. He is about to find his two final go mode items, the wheel and on the ledge warp. And the pyramid warp. Coming up on the way to the backer room. So while there was a good deal of divergence, this is actually a much closer seed than it looks. Yeah, Gabriel picking up that warp and immediately recognizing he's in go mode and has to dash all the way. Yeah.
Jim cannot afford another death. Gabriel taking the time
there it
to...
is.
Oh, there we go.
It's time. Exclamation points in chat for Jim, who has finished with a time of 33:27.
Is a beautiful time. But Gabriel coming in too.
Yeah, and Gabriel not that far behind, starting his final boss fights.
Exactly.
Looks like Jim is having some trouble trying to join us, so let's.
Let me see if I can send him my invites. See. There we go. Alana fight for Gabriel. Oh, Gentleman fight. I'm so sorry. So yes, we still having some troubles getting Jim in here. Let's take a look. There we go. There we go. Jim should be receiving an invite to this call anymore. Hopefully that works and we'll get Jim in here. There we go. There we have him.
Hello.
Hello. So we are watching Gabriel finish up. He's currently on Cantaran.
Due to the death, not far behind at all.
Yeah, that had me so worried. I thought it was over. I thought there was no way.
Yeah, there was a good deal of divergence. Gabriel did go to Alana's tower earlier, so we knew that there was a Timespinner piece for you to find in the tower there. Mm-hmm. And other than that, he put off Lake Serene and his ability to enter the present a little more than you did.
Mm-hmm. The beacon was in Serene, right?
No, the beacon
was in
the library.
It was in Siren Caves. No. The modern war beacon was in Siren Caves. And exclamation points in chat for Gabriel, who finished with a time of 37:59.
Very nice. I'm gonna see if I can also send them this invite.
So yeah, as we were talking earlier, this was both a single jump light wall seed as well as a jet seed. You know, thankfully you guys did have the interior warp to the pyramid, which meant you did not have to climb out of the pyramid shaft.
Yeah, I when I got the pyramid warp, I breathed a sigh of relief there, and I was like, all right, well, normally I would be checking the pyramid for my 5th piece, but I think I am not going to the pyramid today.
Which was a wise decision.
Yeah, I found the timing at which you went to Alana's Tower to be interesting, because if you'd found another source of vertical, you might have done it faster, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I didn't. I generally like to clear the past before I clear the present, so I prefer going to Alana's before going to Desolation. Um, I was holding off on Alana's as long as possible, but I still wanted to get Alana's done before I went to Desolation or anywhere else in the present.
Yeah, you did save some time on the boss fights. There, you were a little more powerful. You had I plus by that point,
Yeah,
which was a pretty good boss killer.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the seeds, honestly. Like, it was a decent plus orb at the beginning. Seed, the damage rolls. Like, a decent plus orb at the beginning. And then I got Umbra, and Umbra pretty much one-shot anything that I ran into for a while. And then I got I, which is like, okay, I can fight bosses now. I had Jin Inferno for a while, but, like, not quite enough mana to really use it effectively. So I plus was really the thing. It was like, okay, I could take boss fights.
Yeah, it looks like Gabriel will not be joining us for an interview, but either way, great race. On both of y'all's side, extremely. You guys both finished extremely quickly.
Yeah. Very fast seed.
Yeah. So while there was not a ton of stuff required, there were some ways that you could have gotten a little more sidetracked if you either faded Alana's Tower or, well, Gabriel, interestingly, went Desolation before going into the library. So there was some potential for like going off on a side adventure, wild goose hunt for a little bit there. But as soon as he found his pyramid warp, he was there in a second.
Okay, so he had all 5 pieces before he found his pyramid warp?
Correct. Yeah, his last piece was the wheel which was also in the library.
Yep, that makes sense.
So how do you feel? You won.
The stress is slowly flowing out of my body. The tournament nerves hit me kind of hard this time, but I guess it worked out okay. I don't know. I felt like my performance was a little lackluster in a couple of places. Taking a death to Cantaran was not ideal, and I really don't know how to fight single jump Ravenlord just at all. Like, you probably saw me flailing for a warp shard during that fight. I was really unhappy with being
that was
there.
it can be a pretty difficult fight when you don't have other vertical options. And Cantran on the nightmare spot hits extremely hard, so it happens.
Yeah, Cantran actually like a real final boss. That's an impressive fight.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at the bracket, Jim, you are up against Waffle Soup.
That's gonna go poorly for me.
She's an extremely talented speedrunner, very, very talented rando runner as well. I know she does some 1 HP shenanigans as well, so
all I can hope for against Waffle is that I make some really good decisions, because on execution alone, she'll definitely beat me.
Yeah, so that is a seed that we definitely want to keep posted about. Can't miss the.
Yeah, honestly, it'll be a great race, and I have a history of making good decisions, so fingers crossed.
And Gabriel is going to go up against the loser of. Oh, it's a match we can't even schedule yet. Whoever, so the winner of Coolio versus Riding goes up against me. The loser of that goes up against Gabriel. So yeah, we have a lot of games to look forward to. How are you feeling about the tournament?
I honestly I've loved this tournament series for as long as it's been going on. I think I missed the first year, and I've been here for every year after that. I'm thrilled to be involved. I love the competitive aspect. Like, even though I know I'm not gonna win, I just love being able to pit myself against other people and have them feel kind of the same way about competition and just like, you know, friendly rivalries and that kind of stuff. It's all great. I'm very much enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great racing randomizer community. And yeah, absolutely sign up next year. This is a great, accessible randomizer game, and yeah, and I highly recommend. You know, you don't need to be like whatever your impression of a top runner is to start racing. You'll be surprised with the results. Yeah, Gabriel did find one laser access code in Lake Desolation. But yeah, it was looking like either that was going to be very deep in the seed or like it wasn't going to be required. Yeah, sorry, just switching back and forth between general tournament talk and questions in chat.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the Timespinner Randomizer is extremely accessible. Like, this is, you know, a 30-minute seed or whatever, but, you know, even for a first seed, like somebody just coming fairly fresh to the game, maybe having beaten it once, I would expect a randomizer seed to take, you know, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and it's really easy to get your times down from there with a little bit of practice. Like, this game is very easy to get into, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, for sure. As soon as you kind of know what the bosses do, what they're weak or strong against, you'll be pretty fine. Especially due to the nice tracker, where you can actually see, like, hey, there are actual checks that I can get or I cannot get here just yet. So that makes knowing where to go, or your options at least.
Yeah, the quality of life for this tracker is very impressive, or for the randomizer in general is just very good.
Very much agreed. Anything you wanna say, Jim?
No, I think we're good. Any final thoughts, Jim?
Thank you for commentating. Thanks for supporting the Timespinner community. Thanks to Speedgaming for supporting the Timespinner community. Shoutouts to my community. Thanks for showing up and supporting me. I very much appreciate it. I see you in chat, Garrett. Thanks for being here, and looking forward to the next one.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Speedgaming. Thanks everyone involved in organizing this. See you all for the next race. Which is going to be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, looks like. Coolio versus Lord Raiden.
Yes, correct.
Channel to be determined. But, yeah, thank you so much, everyone.